My understanding of the statute of limitations on a promissory note, unlike a contract, is a 6-year statute of limitations. It actually doesn't matter much here because whether it was 6 years, 4 years, or 2 years, the promissory note would have expired in 2019. Do you agree with that, sir?
Yes.
And you let it go for a number of years before you decided to go back to asking him to re-sign the note. You were doing this in a way to be sneaky, right? About the re-signing of the note. Yes or no?
No, Your Honor.
So you thought by having him re-sign that note that you would not be reinstating an expired statute of limitations on a promissory note?
Your Honor,
I want an answer to that, sir, please. You didn't say to him, and by the way, sign this again so that I could create a new statute of limitations, did you?
No, Your Honor.
So when you gave it to him, it was your intention to be somewhat deceptive about what was going on, correct, sir?
Your Honor, I don't like the use of the word deceptive.
I don't like it either, but if the, what is that expression? If it quacks, then it's a duck. So this is quacking away.
All right, Your Honor, that's fine.
So I think we're going to have to look at this, whether or not you renewed his obligation under that, whether or not it expired, whether or not, no matter what happened, he owes you the money for other reasons. So unless my colleagues...
I just have 2 very brief questions, sir. Mr. Doxey and Mr. Scott, you both had text messages on August 24th of 2019. Mr. Scott, you said to the plaintiff that you were still working on getting him repaid.
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
And as a matter of fact, on January 29th of 2021, you said, I expect to make you whole before the end of the year, did you not?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, thank you very much.
Okay, gentlemen, then we're going to excuse you while we deliberate in this matter.
All right, the way I understand the transaction and its evolution, it started essentially as an investment and therefore carried no guarantee. But shortly after the money was transferred, the defendant used language that clearly reflected that he was going to keep the plaintiff whole in the event this fell through in some way. Time goes on, he's unable to honor the guarantee because the defendant himself lost all his money, but eventually gets a job. Certainly it's not making enough for him to pay off what he assumed as an obligation. And I think you're right, Judge Acker, I think he voluntarily undertook this obligation when perhaps he didn't have to under the original terms of the agreement. Then the plaintiff tries to document that he's going to guarantee the money. The promissory note occurred, I guess, in 2013, either under a 4-year theory or a 6-year theory. It does expire. So the plaintiff tries to figure out a way to get over any objection that there might be a statute of limitations to the original promissory note. And even if I were to assume that this was a trick, that he was drunk, I'm not entirely sure the defendant didn't reactivate the deal by virtue of these texts. When someone keeps telling you, I'm going to pay you back, I'm going to pay you back, as a way to get you to back off from doing anything you might otherwise legally do, is what we mean by applying the statute of limitations in its purest form.
Could you think of that almost as a tolling aspect?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
So do you want to look at that on the defendant's representations that he was going to be coming forward with this money, and so he should just step back and let it happen?
Yeah.
That's an interesting take on it. I don't know
I'm
how
very
I feel about it.
interested. It's such an interesting take. I'm interested in the take.
I am too. I think that's the way I feel about it.
I don't think the defendant never repudiated the debt. The defendant never said, I'm not going to pay you. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. So now I think it's time for it to get there. I'm with you. I think that the plaintiff should recover.
So I would do the 5 on that theory, the tolling and the promising, keep extending it. So that's why I said to him, I'm not saying when you tricked him kind of or deceived him that you weren't right to do that.
Get somebody to sign a contract when they're drunk in a bar.
Verdict in favor of the plaintiff for $5,000.
Here, here.
That's correct.